Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IFP channel, where we talk everything about football, be it match reviews, stats. And it's been quite a great time for football fans because we have been seeing matches coming on and on again and again. And it has been amazing to watch the quality of football that we have witnessed. And this has resulted in a great source of entertainment for us fans. And I'm your host Anushik. I'm joined by Ashwin, Manav, and Sneh. And today we are here discussing about the various developments that we have seen in the world of football. Now, coming to the first topic of discussion today, it was a Supercopa final yesterday, I believe, and Barcelona. It was against Barcelona was Athletic Club in the finals. So, yeah, where do I start? Let's start with the Barca fan among us. Ashwin, what do you think? What did you make of the game?
I think I've said it before and I'll say it again. Koeman isn't tactically well. He isn't. He's a good man manager, but he's not. He's tactically clueless for me. Because when you come up against someone as Marcelino, he's a good experienced coach in La Liga. He has coached Valencia in the past. And he shut out the whole game for Barca. Because the momentum that we were carrying in the tournament, that sort of play was nowhere shown in the game. The whole block was maintained in the midfield, and Barca were just passing around from one fullback to another. And man, oh man, where do I start with Jordi Alba? That guy cannot handle pressure situations, cannot handle big games. He gave the pre-assist for the first goal and then literally went off to sleep. He had a man running behind him and he did not even see. He was just raising his hands and saying to the referee, like, where did he come from, right? And that can't be accepted in a club like Barca. You cannot expect that. And the second goal that we conceded, the man ducked. The ball went in the box and the man ducked. How do you do that in your sane mind? How do you do that? You're leading 2-1 and you do this to give away the goal. I cannot just, you're as an Asian fan, you stay up late at 4 in the morning and you're seeing this. And it's a thing of every year. You do not see Barca perform in big stages now. Right? I've lost hope, all hope. I've lost all hope.
I mean, it was certainly a hard pill to swallow for Barca fans because you have the habit of seeing your team performing really well, outclassing other teams, and suddenly you're seeing this team performing like that. So it's a bit weird. I understand. I get the feeling. But yeah, what you mentioned was absolutely right because Koeman got outclassed, and even Marcelino with great. I mean, he's such an experienced manager because he has La Liga experience, and the physical gameplay by Athletic Club and the great tactics by Marcelino certainly proved to be a game changer. To be fair. Now, coming to the next point, let's talk about Griezmann performing really well on the big stage because it was a stellar performance by the man. Of course, he missed a chance to equalize in the end, but come on, you can't take away the point that he had performed like really well for the rest of the match. Now, Sneha, what do you think? Did Griezmann enjoy playing in that position, and did he perform well in that match?
You see the player like Griezmann, of the lights of Griezmann, he has been under continuous criticism for not being able to find his finishing touch. He has been playing good, or like you can say he has not been able to find the net. This was the match. It was of course a big match. Barcelona was coming from a performance pressure and they had to prove. Griezmann did the correct thing. And in the chunkier moments, it's quite viable that if your defense is such slack in nature, of course, it gets onto the players. But Griezmann was completely one of those players who stood on the field for Barcelona. And I think he's now finding his touch. And it will be very good if he finds his touch like this for further of the season.
Certainly, because it was a brilliant performance by the man, the French man, and now coming from the strike force of Barca, who is Griezmann. Let's talk about the strike force of Athletic Club because they certainly have like brilliant players up front. They had Iñaki Williams scoring that screamer. Literally, it was an epic goal. It was like certainly one of the top goals I've seen, I believe. And the best part is it hit the post and went inside. It was really entertaining to watch the goal. Now, Manav, did you enjoy the goal?
Yes, I literally enjoyed that goal. It was awesome. Valencia and Bilbao is doing a really good job. They did really well against Real and now against Barca. They were physically very strong and they are doing very well. And I don't think for 4-3 the formation is working with Barcelona. A proper left winger is lacking, then Jordi Alba is not performing very good as a left back. Sergio Dest, I think, needs a little more time. Then he will get this. He will fit with the system of the team.
Totally, man, totally. Because in the end, these are tough times for Barca fans and the club because they have been going through a lot of situations, both in and out the field. Now, coming from that, let's talk about the agenda that Koeman has against Ricky Puig because I see literally in the end, I think it was the extra time. It was in the latter phase of the extra time, I believe that he got a chance to play, and he did really well. He injected a great deal of liveliness and pace into the game. Now, Ashwin, what do you make of the man's performance, and what do you think is the reason why he is not being given the opportunities?
Except for 1 or 2 games, Koeman has always put Pooj whenever we are losing. And I don't know what agenda he has with Ricky, because every time he's on the pitch, he has performed well. We have a Juventus fan here. You can ask him the injection that he bought with him in that game, and he does that every game he plays. Now, Pedri, Busquets, and De Jong have been playing together for around I think 5 to 6 games they have been starting, and you can't start a guy like Pedri every game. He's a 19-year-old kid, and they have to be rotated, right? And the fatigue was clearly showing. The game was clearly not for him. He was marked out of the game, or you could say he was, physically not adapted to the game. And Koeman should have bought Poach around 60th minute or so. I think he really should have bought him, and that would have uh, given more control in the midfield. And I
Yeah,
don't know
certainly.
what's with him. I don't know, because Ricky Puig certainly is a trump card for him. Every time he plays, he is showing that he deserves at least a starting place.
Definitely. I witnessed a player who's not being given game time, but he's been performing really well whenever he's got the opportunity. Like it's very impressive to see a player perform, such a way. Because if you see the rest of the Barca team, it's a bit lackluster, to be fair.
Yeah,
Now, what Puig brings into the team is certainly that that sort of motivation that the entire team needs to perform really well. So that is certainly something that Barca is missing. Now, after talking about that, let's talk about Messi getting pissed because my God, he can punch. The man can punch. What do you think? What do you think, Sneha? Did you enjoy the physical battle that Messi showed in the match?
I think Messi should have surely done that to Longley and Jordi Alba. They deserve those punches. I think that should be the whole
My God.
narrative. And it's like you wasted years of such a great player. Firstly, it was against Roma, then you have Liverpool, and you have continuously been wasting his glorious days of football. And now he has come to such a point where he's like, you can see it on his face. He's like, fine, I don't give any shit to this team now. I'm done for it. And that punch was literally that. He's like, fine, I'm done. And he was like, he gave up the whole ambition. And the best was like Jordi Alba was still confused that why is he getting a red card? I'm like, dude, he literally punched a man. You need to see that. So it was completely, what Messi has lost his cool. Second time in his career, I think he got a red card, yeah. And that shows he's a disciplined man, but he lost his cool. So yeah, that
Yeah,
shows where Barcelona is heading.
my
I mean,
goat
yeah,
always performs
frustrated
in
man.
big stages.
Sorry.
My goat always performs in big stages.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, come on, man. The man is literally frustrated. He I don't know. He is not finding his happy place right now in Barcelona, I believe. But yeah, before the Barca fans attack us, I'm not telling that Messi hates Barca or something. He loves Barca. I'm talking about the players that are around him. That is the main issue. It's not like Messi has some agenda against Barcelona or something. That's certainly not there because Barca made Messi, no matter what you say. Now, like enough talk about the Supercopa. Let's move to Syria because we can see such an interesting title race being developed over there because it was Inter versus Juve and certainly Inter did perform really well in the game and they managed to outclass Juventus. Now we have our resident Juventus fan over here, Snare. So let's start with him. So what do you think was the reason why Juventus bottled it?
First thing I would like to begin with, Juventus has black stripes in their jersey, and that is all I have in my life right now after seeing this performance. All
Oh my God.
blackness.
You're poetic.
It was
You're poetic.
it was disastrous. It was a disastrous performance. This team lacks intent. And I would just mention two reasons where this team has been like completely out of space. Juventus was considered to be the defensive stalwart in Europe. Like they can even one goal cushion was safe for them. In the times of Allegri, we were like, we'll score one and we'll defend like dogs till the 90th minute. We have likes of Banucci and Chiellini, both of them considered to be the stalwarts of defense. What they did nothing. Delict, who is just 20, is seeming to be better than Banucci. And this is the first team in the history of football which has played 2 seasons without proper fullbacks. This is my team. Welcome. We are the Bayern Canaries. We don't have fullbacks in our team. We just managed to get guys who play as right backs, as faulty right backs, and then we say they are right backs. So yeah, that is the whole problem.
That's,
No players to play with.
having talked about the fullback situation, my God, you had a brilliant right back with Cancelo, and then suddenly you sold him, brought in Danilo, who is certainly not, fitting in. And then you
Yeah.
don't even play Danilo, to be fair. You play Cuadrado sometimes over there. And yeah, it's been quite, quite a situation over there. Now, and also, I believe that Juventus midfield wasn't doing really well. Manav, what do you think about the Juventus midfield? Do you think that they're lacking the quality?
No, I think some quality players are there. Like Arthur is there, Rabiot is there. I think the problem was that Conte was is more experienced than Pirlo. That's what made a difference in this game. Because
I,
if you see the inter team was actually attacking all the time, and the Juventus goalkeeper, so I think Szczesny was the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
So Szczesny was the goalkeeper at that time. So I think he did a good job saving the goals. But he was Pirlo was totally outclassed by Conte. That's what I think.
I
Yeah, I
would
mean,
just
certainly.
like to give in a small addition, a very small addition. It's just like when we see the midfield of Juventus, it's not settled. It's not at all settled. Arthur is quite new to Italian football. He's not used to the ways. Second, Rabiot, he goes on an on-off switch, not a consistent player. Aaron Ramsey completely lost. Weston McKennie, you can't expect a lot from him. Bentancur, shit bag. We have no midfield in general. Absent midfield. So it's the defense which slacks, and then there is straight away Ronaldo. There is nothing in between. Nothing. It's absent.
Like,
That is what
yeah,
Juventus is.
I mean, he gave a proper, breakdown of the Juventus midfield, to be fair. Now, yeah, let's talk. That was enough talk about Juventus. Now, Ashwin, coming to you. What do you think? Do you see the interesting developments in Syria and think, oh my God, we have a title race in hand?
Certainly, yeah, because Serie A is really very competitive now. AC Milan has come back in a good form. We have Napoli and Roma coming as in good form as well. And I think Juventus are in more of a transition period. That's why they're struggling, or else they would have been in the top right now. But yeah, it's really interesting to watch a league like that being competitive.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. Because over the past few years, we have seen that this league has not been like too competitive. But this time around, it's things are changing over there. Things are changing. That's all I can say. Now, since we have talked enough about Juventus, let's also talk about the other team who actually won the game, and it was Inter Milan, with brilliant players like Varela, who literally ran the midfield over there with his sharp running and precise finishing and stuff. And we also have the players like Hakimi, Lukaku, who have certainly found their mojo back, and they're performing really well. Because Hakimi, to be fair, had a weird start to his life in Inter Milan, but then he suddenly has jumped back into the scene. And Lukaku certainly after his terrible time at United. I mean, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It was like a proper goal scoring form, but then yeah, it was like sort of a mixed reception from the United fans that he received, and certainly he's been enjoying his football in Inter Milan. So, Sneh, what do you think? Like, did you enjoy seeing this Inter team play? Because yeah, to be fair, it was a hard pill for you to swallow. But yeah, did you enjoy the football that Inter showed?
One thing which I would say about Inter is that the Chinese money went at right place. The Chinese spent their money correctly. They went into a good resurrection period. Literally, Inter can play two squads. If you look at their bench strength, they can start with two squads. And one thing which pleases me, as I said earlier also, I would like Inter Milan to win because they have Italian talents like Bastoni, Barella, and Sensi, these guys. And I'm an Italian fan outcore. So I'm even happy that these homegrown Italian talents are playing so well. That goal of Bastoni and Barella pairing up, oh my God, that was wondrous. The old warrior, Vidal, again hurting his back. That was very hard to see our own boy scoring against us.
In
And
fact, I
Conte
believe
makes
he kissed the Juventus badge before the game or something.
yes. Even after the game, he went to Chiellini and he kissed the badge. But you can't do anything. And so Conte makes you an animal. That is what he did with Hakimi, Lukaku. He makes you an animal. He gets you deliver above. He is the Italian Jurgen Klopp. He gets more out of you, and that is what Inter has been doing. And the reserve squad is good. It's a brilliant team. They are surely going for Scudetto, surely at any cost. And I want them to win, not AC Milan, because they will again freak out about the Champions League history and everything. It's better if Inter wins
Yeah,
it.
certainly, because it's been quite an interesting time for Inter Milan. Seeing them play really well. And also, let's also talk about the future prospects that the Italian national team has, because as Neha mentioned, with the great Italian players that they have in their squad, certainly you can see a sort of rejuvenation in the great Italian national football team. So yeah, exciting times for Italy as well as Inter Milan. Now, we've talked about the Serie A. Now let's talk about the Premier League as well. And this week's highlight game was definitely the United versus Liverpool game, and it was certainly a game which makes the fans wonder, like, what was the motive of Ole before the game? Was it to win the game, or was it to just draw and be happy with the point? Because if you see, there can be two ways you can see the point. You can either consider it as 2 points dropped, or you can see that they have managed to gain 1 point against a brilliant Liverpool side. So Ashwin, what do you think? Like, did it help Man United, or did it add fuel to the disappointment that the United fans have been going through?
I think it definitely helped Man United, because even before the game, Ole said in an interview that I would be surprised if we win this game. He said it. And if you look at it, certainly Liverpool is a better team. Yes, they don't have their first team defenders, but they are the better team. But yeah, Man United, I think, were focused on grabbing that 1 point, grabbing a draw and staying on top of the league, and that's what they've done. They played very defensive football and stopped Liverpool's attacks. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, certainly it was an interesting spectacle, to be honest, because if you see the match, it was in the end United had better chances than Liverpool. They could have won the game easily, and certainly they didn't take their chances, and it was. I mean, United fans should be happy, to be fair, because it's not like they have lost the game and very played really poorly or something. They have done their job in defending the game, and they're still in the top of the league. I mean, what else do you need, to be fair? And talking about Man United, let's talk about the performance of a man who has been stellar for them this season against the poor Premier League teams. Certainly, not against the big six. Let me just put that like straight away. Bruno Fernandes with another 3 out of 10 performance against Liverpool, because he missed a chance of scoring. Because if he had just added a little more power to the shot, he could have easily won the game for United. His passing was terrible. He didn't perform like proper passes in the game throughout the game, and in fact, he was actually very animated with his reaction when Ole wanted him to come back to the touchline. So, Manav, what do you make of Bruno Fernandes' performance?
In the starting, when he came to Manchester United, he was doing quite well. I think there was some void in that team which he filled, but now he's not looking up to the mark, I think.
Certainly. Because before we discuss further, let me just tell you a bit of trivia over here. Bruno Fernandes versus the big six in the league this season. It's only 1 goal, and that to a penalty. 0 assists. And against everyone else, let's talk about Brighton. Let's talk about teams which are fighting relegation, like Sheffield, Burnley. He's got like 10 goals, out of which 4 are penalties, which revives the age-old memes. And he has 7 assists. I mean, to be fair, it's not a bad return for a player. It's certainly not a bad return, but a player of that caliber should also perform against the big six in the league, supposed big six in the league. So, Sneh, what do you think? What do you make of Bruno Fernandes' stats?
It's a ritual of Manchester United to tell every player that yeah, he's better than the blue side of the city. That is what
Uh,
has happened initially. And according to me, Bruno Fernandes, if you see, he has been, I would say, as a name, he is very clinical. If any opponent is going to like see him on the sheets, they will be like, yes, of course, he's a player of identity, and so he is a feared identity. But when it comes against the big six, of course, he hasn't performed. He hasn't performed quite well. And that is the real reason why Manchester United cannot just bank upon him. It's only one name which we hear, it's Bruno Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes. He supplies to Rashford, he supplies to Martial, but what if he doesn't? And I think the correct answer is trusting Pogba because Pogba is showing lights. So that is what I would say. You need to conjoin both of them. You can't be so heavily dependent upon Bruno. So yeah, of course, it will take time. It's new life for him in the Premier League. Definitely, we hope that Manu finds their resilient side.
Certainly, certainly. Because to be fair, if you follow football Twitter, you will see that the entire United fan base has been divided this time around because it's some United fans that are in favor of Pogba playing the advanced role and becoming the sole creator of the team, and then you have the Fernandes fans over here who are like what, the whole team depends on Fernandes. What will we do without him? Certainly, that is not nice for a team of United stature because we are talking about a team who has had the likes of, like, I mean, they've had great individual talents, but certainly they always needed the team to perform really well, as Neha pointed out. So it's certainly you can't completely depend on one player, and you have to depend on the entire team. And also we have the Donny Van de Beek situation over there because he's also a creative player. To be fair, he's someone who can marshal the midfield, but then he's not getting the chances. I think it's again the same sort of agenda that we have seen with Ricky Puig over in Barca. You never know what's the situation. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the game. Now, also, let's talk about the Liverpool side because we saw Thiago perform really well because certainly he's a player who is known for his dribbling, the way he creates the spaces, his passing and everything. He performed really well in the match. So, Ashwin, did you enjoy seeing Thiago play? Because it was, I think, his first game after returning fit.
Yeah, I love watching Thiago play. He effortlessly glides past defenders and creates those spaces and those nonchalant through balls and above the defense balls. Like, yeah, I really like seeing him play. And what he basically did for Liverpool was hold the game for them in the midfield because Liverpool were majorly in possession and created through the middle more, and Thiago did that for them. So yeah, I really
Certainly,
love the
certainly.
same play.
I mean, he's a player who's been there, who's won everything that has to be, won. He's done really well with Bayern. He has also played with the likes of Barcelona. Certainly he is a star. To be fair, just put it that way. Now, before we end the discussion, about United and Liverpool, let's just ask one final question. Like, what do you guys think? Was it a positive result for United, or was it like something they have to be disappointed about? Let's just just hit the nail on it. Like, Manav, what do you think?
I think it's good that they were able to draw the match because Liverpool is one of the most feared team right now in the Premier League. So drawing them is better than losing.
Yeah, yeah,
For me,
certainly.
yes.
Sneh, what do you think?
It's all a win-win situation for Manchester City. They are coming to bite you soon. That's all I
Oh
believe.
my God.
Drawing was bad for both of them. City is gonna come back, and City has already came back. So yeah,
Yeah, to be fair,
not the
City are
kind of result.
exactly City are in second in the league, and they have a game in hand also, I believe. So certainly good times for City as well because their defense has improved like a lot. They've got Stones and Diaz in the defense, and they've been doing really well. Now, before we end the show, let's talk about the transfer situation that we have been witnessing over the past few weeks, and certainly the biggest highlight has to be Özil moving to Fenerbahce. So Ashwin, what do you make of the transfer? Do you think it's a good move for Özil to go back to Turkey?
Yeah, definitely. It was long due, right? Arsenal was clearly wasting him, putting him on the bench, and he was willingly not moving away from the club. Like Arsenal did want to sell him, but he wasn't willing to move away. But now, yeah, I think it's a good move for him.
Definitely, definitely. Talking about the business side of the game as well. If a player is just sitting at home, tweeting about your team and then just winning, like just like earning like a 350 grand or something, right? That's just like too much money, dude. You can actually have like 2-3 decent players by just dividing the wage, literally. And yeah, I think it's this might be the good times of Arsenal as well, because they can certainly bounce back. And yeah, let's just hope for the best. I mean, certainly the leagues all around the world have been entertaining us with tremendous amount of football and brilliant quality football as well. And it's been it's been quite a interesting watch for us fans. So yeah, this was it, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also press the bell button so that you never miss an update. This was me, Anushik, and these were my mates. Signing off. See ya.